Innovating Education Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.
Learning and teaching is sharing knowledge, and traditionally it is the older generations who are in charge of educating the young. But in certain circumstances, the opposite can happen. This week on Learning World, we have a look at learning experiences between different generations. Join us for this selection of stories from Chile, New Zealand, and Tanzania. Retired teachers can still play an important role in the education process. In one of the rural areas in the center of Chile, some of those teachers chose to give up their free time for a modest wage. They took the initiative to help poor children learn how to read and write. Let's have a closer look in this report.
The people here in this region of Chile are amongst the poorest in the country. And the worst affected are often retired people, including teachers, who receive very little by way of a pension.
I retired in 2001. After 40 years' work, I have a pension of 250 euros a month, and it is impossible to live on that.
Solamente con ese dinero, imposible.
But the problem isn't just financial. Retired people can also suffer from isolation.
We deal with socially vulnerable children who lack skills because they're badly educated, and on the other hand, we have retired workers who are available and very good at their job. So we pay retired teachers $2 for each extra word that pupils can read per minute, in line with the scale drawn up according to age.
We do it together. We cut out stickers for children who can't read. So when they see them on the television, then they know the logos. Afterwards, when they see them, they know how to read them.
In the 2 years between 2006 and 2008, 1,813 pupils in 77 different schools have improved their reading, and 88 retired teachers have supplemented their pensions.
I feel like a part of me is reading automatically. It's obvious that no one method is the best when it comes to learning to read. It comes from lots of different experiences, little things. The Education Minister has statistical criteria for learning to read according to the various ages. Before, I didn't understand what I was reading. I got lost in the words. How many words can you read? Now? 155.
Often older people are eager to teach, but also to learn. One example comes from Hamilton, New Zealand, where seniors have gone back to school with the aim of catching up with technology. They've joined SuperNet, a specially designed class where young adults teach their elders how to surf the internet. Join us in this inspiring report.
Every Tuesday, Raymond and Diamond go to a SuperNet computing class in Hamilton. Raymond, 37, teaches Diamond, who's 68.
You have a computer, you can do everything through the computer. That helps me a lot to communicate with my friends, my families, and my relatives in China. It takes time.
Of course it takes time. Everything takes time. You really need to go back to the basics. You need to explain things in in a lot of detail, and you need to explain things a lot of times over.
SuperNet was set up 7 years ago by the Methodist Church and relies on donations and volunteer teachers. They have around 10 students who are retired people.
Using the younger volunteers here give us that type of energy which is required to deal with the older people, have more empathy as well. So if it is a person like me, I might run out of patience very soon. But a younger one has got the energy to keep going, you know? And that's a good thing with the younger people. And the younger people bring more things, better things and new things into the class and share it.
But the gains aren't all one way. Diamond is learning computer skills, but Raymond is getting valuable teaching experience. He's about to enroll on a 6-month course to learn how to teach adults. And everyone gains from the human contact.
They come in here to spend their time and operating and talking, and after that we go and eat in. Once a year we having a small party here.
Diamond came to New Zealand from China 2 years ago, and now he wants to teach English to Chinese people who've just arrived.
If I learn the PowerPoint skill, I can make my teaching more vivid and easier to understand.
From the internet jungle now to the forests of Tanzania. The tribes there are trying to preserve their culture by transferring the indigenous habits to young people. This method of knowledge sharing between older and younger generations is very structured. Let's find out more.
The Maasai people pass knowledge of their land from one generation to the next without ever writing anything down. This indigenous knowledge and their cultural traditions form the backbone of their society. And the way men are divided into age groups is part of controlling how this knowledge is transferred and preserved. Maasai society is divided into generational groups. Moranis, or warriors, are initiated through a circumcision ceremony every 15 years or so. This involves most boys between 12 and 25 who've reached puberty and are not part of the previous generation of Moranis. This family includes 4 generations of people all living together. Baba Taroka is the patriarch of the family and the community's senior elder. The other generations, including his sons and his eldest grandsons, are all in generational groups. Each group has a specific role. Uninitiated boys are responsible for watching the herds, for example, while Moranis are in charge of security and well-being.
Without elders, we could lose vital knowledge. People ask me about our customs because it's easy to get them wrong, and I know how things should be done.
Evenings are spent telling traditional stories. Sessions like this are still the most important part of a Maasai education. Traditionally, Maasai do not read and write, but all the young people in this community go to school. They get the best of both worlds.
We teach them to respect their parents and not to run away or leave jobs like keeping cattle.
Our Learning World edition ends here. But before we go, we would like to know, have you already participated in a sharing knowledge experience between generations? If so, then tell us about it on our social media pages. The Learning World website has more information. Until next week, goodbye.
Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.